Howdy, howdy, we're back at it again with some more Aeneid. This time we're looking at Book 6, lines 450 to 466. Let's get it. Alright, starting off with this interquas here, so between them or among them, it's actually them is referring to women, these women, because Dido is the latest in a long list of tragic, dramatic deaths of mythical female characters. Remember, these guys are down in the underworld. So next we're going to do the Phoenician Dido. Was wandering, this Arabat right here, in the great woods in Magna Silva. And then Recens al Vulnere here is actually just going to be Recenti Vulnere, so with a fresh wound here. The fresh wound has a double meaning. Literally, she got shot through the heart and Aeneas is to blame. But she also recently just entered the underworld, so it's kind of like a new experience, dark experience for her. And then down here, this quam Troias heros ut primum iuxta stetit agno vitque per umbras obscuram. So as soon as, it's going to be this ut primum here, the Trojan hero stood next to her, so the stetit next to her. So quam here agrees with Yuxta and Agno and recognizes her. So that would be this Agnowit right here. So darkness among shadows. So this whole thing is going to read, as soon as the Trojan hero stood next to her and recognized her, darkness among shadows. This is our epic simile here. Pretty exciting. So qualem such as one that sees. So this that either sees, this outweed it right here, or thinks he sees. So this putat would say right here, or thinks he sees the moon rising. So the surger right here. Through the clouds, per Nubia, in the beginning of the month, Mense, right here. So this primo Mense. And that beginning of the month actually means just the lunar month, because at the beginning of the lunar month, the moon is sort of obscured. So it's kind of like uncertainty whether you can actually see it, hence the or things he sees. And it sort of explains the obscurum. Remember back here, the darkness. So just a little info there. And then this demisset right here, so he let fall. It's kind of a good way to translate it. Tears. And he addressed her. So that ad fatus est, he addressed her with a sweet love, so more dulcet. Next up, so infelix Dido, unhappy Dido. True then, so we're going to take this whereas first. So true, then, this ergo can mean then. So true then, that the news, the nuntias, that came to me, this winterat, that you died, so extentum right here, which is an indirect discourse. And with the sword, you accompanied death. So this nuntias right here is kind of interesting because it's nowhere referenced in the text that, it's nowhere referenced in the text that he actually heard about Dido dying. There had been mentioned when they were leaving that they could see the flames. They could have kind of thought it, but they didn't actually know for sure. So it's kind of like the first time he's really seeing her dead. All right, so we're just going to hand it over to our boy Frieze here, just because he has such a beautiful translation. I can't even go against it. So was it death I brought you, not merely sorrow? So this first part right here. Funeris has an emphatic position, so you're kind of like leading it off with the death. So he's going to say, I swear by the stars by the world above, this pair of superos here, which is just referring to the gods in the heavens, and whatever pledge is under the bottommost earth. So Frieze again points out that he does not know what kind of oath or apology will satisfy her, because it really shouldn't. So Queen, this Regina right here, I depart from your shore unwilling, right here. So next up, but the commands of the gods syncopated of Diorum. So, but the commands of the gods which now force me to go through these shadows. So to go through these shadows. Through places rough with decay. So for places rough with decay. And the deepest nights, right here, have forced me by their authority. It's sort of a repetitive, it's sort of awkward here, like, because he had already mentioned before the Yusa Deum right here, so like kind of like the command of the gods, and then he also referenced it down here with the Imperis Egere Suis. It's just kind of an interesting thing right there. So right here, neck, so nor am I able to believe, so this crater ray right here, that by my departure, I was bringing, you can kind of translate this as I was bringing a pain so deep as this, kind of this whole thing right there. Hunk is kind of being used as a grief here, so like as big as this, kind of like emphasizing it more. So he's going to go down here and say, stop your step, and do not withdraw from our view. Nice little dative of separation right there. Quem fugis, so who are you fleeing? This is also interesting because Aeneas is now the one kind of like asking her to stay behind. When before it was Dido, she mentioned back in book 4, Mene fugis, are you fleeing me? So it's kind of like a role reversal here. And this is the last time that they're going to talk because fate will not force them to talk again. So right here, this is the last speech that I shall address to you. Just straight out of the textbook, end things off. There's just a little interesting thing about this hoc est right here. So the line ends with 2 monosyllables, sort of an emphatic ending. And so the actual pronunciation, you would actually have it would be pronounced HOCC to have it long, just to end it off. But spoiler alert, you can't save her, the damage is done. We'll let whoever's next pick it up. Be sure to like and subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss one of our new videos. And go ahead and add funds to the Frieze hoodie. It's actually 20% off now, so if you hurry, you can get a nice little discount right there. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you so much for watching.